So we did this just before COVID.
Yeah.
We really kind of got in just under the wire, as they say.
And I
Um,
remember, do you remember there was that awful flu that like swept through the cast and crew?
yes. In fact, I kind of, for a short time, I was thinking, well, maybe I already had it, you
I
know.
had the same, yeah, I thought so as well. It was one of the worst flus I've ever had in my life. And I remember that that kind of informed it for me a bit, where, you know, the script is so entirely it is standing on this relationship of these two characters, and their text. And I remember diving into the text, and first of all, I wanted to like figure out what is, because there's so much about language. And as a Portuguese woman who came to this country at a young age, my parents, English is their second language, and so like I was very aware of the conflict of and the kind of struggle of being first generation and being raised by parents who spoke English as a second language. So that was like the first thing that I really wanted to deal with. It was like, well, she in this script is technically speaking in French, in Lacan's native tongue. And there's a lot of text about that. So the first thing I wanted to kind of figure out is like how to convey a discomfort in her language that Lacan does not have. And so once I kind of figured that out, and then I got this flu, and it all kind of like informed this very uncomfortable woman who just like wanted to get back home, in so many ways. And so that was really where I started, and it really helped kind of lift it up for me. I remember constantly asking Valentina to see the frame. I would always want to look at the monitor, because it immediately informed and helped me like get right into where I needed to be because of how dramatic the lighting was, because of her skill and artistry. Like it helped set the tone and the mood for Seriema.
Yeah.
And so it was, and I remember she would kind of get pissed at me. She was like, why are you looking at the screen? You're not supposed to look at the screen. You don't worry about that. I do. And I remember having to explain to her, no, this is really helpful. This is like, it helps me get right into that world because it's so specific. And it's so, you know, we've got those four walls of the office, and it's this kind of, it's this pressure cooker in itself, you know, where Lacan has finite time as well. And so does she. And there's this kind of like, how do we get through this?
I remember we had one read through at the start. And at that reading, what I recall is that you asked me about interpreting Seriema's responses to Jacques Lacan as, you know, standing up for herself or pushing back. You know, you were wondering about, you know, how far you could go.
I thought it would be really interesting if she saw Lacan as more of an obstacle than anything else, as like this kind of, as the antagonist to her story. And I felt like the point at which that changes and he becomes an ally is when she loses her, her necklace that wards off the evil eye necklace. And he immediately is like, I'll help you find it, you know, like go look for it. And if you don't find it, call back home, get another one. Like he immediately is on her side. And I felt like that for her is like a moment where she recognizes him as an ally who understands what she needs in that moment. And that was the kind of, that was the shift for me, and where she starts to really undergo some deep changes fairly quickly at that point.